Got one more. There's a passage in Job that I really, really like about Parah. Job says in Job 11:12 that a stupid man will get understanding when a Parah, a wild donkey's colt, is born a human being. Wild donkeys are off and breeding, and they don't have human beings, they have wild donkeys. In that way, a stupid man will never get understanding. I don't want to be a wild donkey living after my own interests and never getting the understanding of God. I want to. Yet the calling is not to amass the fortune. The calling is to take what you have and try to use it in ways that show the heart and the desire of God, recognizing that everything on this earth that is good and wholesome and right belongs to God anyway. I mean, if he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, all we are caretakers. Perhaps most of all, sheep are considered models of you and me. They're herd animals. They don't like to be alone. And the Bible teaches it's not good for a person to be alone. We need the fellowship of others. We need to be around others. Sheep are easily led astray. And you and I aren't that different. We got to watch who we hang around, because we'll tend to be like the people that we hang around. We'll tend to do what they do. You hang around people who go to church, you go to church. You hang around people who don't, you don't. You hang around people who, whatever it is, we tend to be that way. And it was no different back in biblical times. Well, there are, in a sense, two different kinds of people. There are those people, we'll call them sheep, who rely on a shepherd, who need a shepherd, who look to a shepherd to lead them and to guide them and to give them purpose, to give them direction, to give them sustenance and put them where they need to be, to take care of them. And then there are the goats. And these are the people who are worldly wise, who are independent, who don't need God, who don't need hardly anything. They can make it on their own. Now, this self-reliant, savvy, worldly wise, independent of God goat is going to be separated out from the sheep. God's not looking for you and I to be strong on our own. God's not looking for you and I to be independent of him, to be worldly wise and savvy and able to go out to the mountains and scavenge around and make it on our own. God's looking for sheep who will follow his lead, who rely upon him rather than themselves. And then the prophet says, but Israel does not know God. Israel, God says, does not understand. Blows me away. I mean, they're worse than a donkey. The stubborn, dumb donkey at least knows where to go home. Israel didn't understand their home. They didn't understand their master. They didn't know God. I take that to my heart today. I don't know why particularly today it touches me, but it really does. I want to commit today. I want to commit today to better knowing God.